First, I'd like to express my gratitude for the opportunity to be here today and the opportunity to have this, and certainly I want to thank you for also your time that you're investing on all these matters, in this one in particular. I thought it was interesting of note to see that the first item on the agenda today, the hearing anyway, was related to sexual misconduct. We have a sexual offender registry in the state of Wisconsin. We have instances of growth in the pornography industry, and we can say with certainty that crimes of a sexual nature and offenses of a sexual nature are problematic. And so this bill somewhat relates to that. So thank you first for allowing us to testify today on AB 308 relating to obscene materials in our schools. I'm grateful for the public hearing, and there are many who suggest that they suggest that there are no obscene materials in our schools, and that this bill is just about banning books or political agendas, and that's just simply not the truth. So this hearing will allow us to really set the record straight on that. As you'll hear today from other testifiers, there are many parents and educators who have become concerned about how students can encounter sexually explicit material at school. It is important, I think, for us to define obscene material before explaining what the bill does. Many of the questions that have come into my office have been, well, who gets to define what obscene materials are? Well, as a matter of fact, the statutes already define that. Obscene material is carefully defined in current law under Section 944.21, subsection 2, subparagraph C, as, quote, a writing, picture, film, or other recording that, one, the average person applying contemporary community standards would find appeals to the prurient interests if taken as a whole. Now, I had to look that word up because I had never heard that word before, prurient. It means, in essence, something that causes immoderate or unwholesome desires. In other words, it's intended to arouse sexual desire. Number two, in the definition, under contemporary community standards, describes or shows sexual conduct in a patently offensive way, meaning it is obvious. And number three, in the definition in statutes, lacks serious literary, artistic, political, educational, or scientific value if taken as a whole. And I think this is the key point in education settings. That's the end of the definition. I continue with my testimony. When we look at this definition, I think all of us, regardless of political persuasion, would agree that material showing sexual content in a provocative way should not be something that we give to 12-year-olds. If any of us choose to distribute obscene material to a minor, we would be subject to felony charges. Rightly so. We believe in protecting minors from sexually explicit material, yet if a school employee distributes obscene materials, they are immune from any repercussions. Why? Should we not hold those who work with minors to the same level of responsibility as any other Wisconsinite? If AB 308 becomes law, it would mean that elementary and secondary school staff would be obligated to carefully review materials and use their prudent judgment to prevent obscene materials from being distributed to our students. Again, that is material that is obviously sexual in nature. The reason this bill is here is not some culture war campaign. It is because parents from the 97th District actually experienced their children being exposed to graphic sexual content in materials from their schools, and they were upset. This is a real issue with real examples of material that is not age appropriate and clearly meets the definition of obscene material. Before I wrap up, I'd like to address some common objections based off of misunderstandings of the bill. As I alluded to earlier, some say this is about banning books and ideas. That's not true. This bill simply requires that school employees be held to the same standard as every other Wisconsinite in not distributing obscene materials. The definition has not been changed in this bill, the definition of obscene materials. And the definition of obscene materials has nothing to do with political ideologies. It has to do with protecting minors from explicit sexual content. To oppose this bill is to say you are fine with schools handing out materials with explicit sexual conduct to students. Secondly, some suggest that this will make teachers and librarians afraid of losing their jobs. Good educators have nothing to fear from this bill. Good educators should already be discerning about providing age-appropriate materials. And finally, some fear there will be a deluge of lawsuits. However, according to Wisconsin Statute 944.21, both a district attorney and the attorney general must sign off on any civil or criminal proceedings. These two layers of review will better ensure that only clear violations result in any legal proceedings. What this bill does do is provide accountability. Accountability is important to parents, and it should be important to us.